Hey Faith fam, welcome back to my channel. This is Paulina, aka Linaebu. On this channel we do a lot of faith-based content, Christian lifestyle, blended family. If that's something that resonates with you or you're blessed or encouraged by it, feel free to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a chance anytime we upload. All right, babe.
Hey Faith fam, we're back again. Today we're gonna dive into 5 lessons and 5 blessings. I know briefly we touched on it last week about how we were sneak peeking. We're gonna bring that in this week, and so today, we celebrated 5 years anniversary last week.
It wasn't last week. It's almost 2 weeks now.
Oh, 2 weeks now. See, I'll be throwing my time out. But today we want to come back and talk about 5 lessons and 5 blessings of just being married. I know we live in a world where marriage is often ostracized. A lot of times and in a lot of ways, people are saying, "Oh, don't get married." All of these things, but we believe in marriage. Mm-hmm. We believe that there's lessons and there's blessings. And so, without further ado, we're gonna jump right in. Baby, you want to start us off with a lesson? A lesson.
So a lesson that was definitely important for me. Number one, I would say, is to keep Christ first.
Okay.
Being that we are a Christian family, keeping Christ first at the center of our marriage, has helped definitely in times of arguments, or just remembering that we're not at this together. We're not at this alone, rather. So, if there's a disagreement or something between us, I just remember Christ first. So, love like Christ, forgive like Christ. So that would be one of the lessons I would say.
Yeah, and I would just piggyback on that. Having Christ at the center, it takes you out of the equation. I know a lot of times, oftentimes, we come into a marriage where we were single, and now we're married, and so we're learning our mate, we're learning our partner, and a lot of times we're familiar with what we've done in our singleness. And so keeping Christ at the center oftentimes allow us to take the picture off of us and how can we come together for a common ground. And so with that being said, number 2, the number 2 lesson I would say is give each other grace, right? Giving each other grace is critically important, because look, every day ain't gonna be a blissful day. Every day is not gonna be a grateful day. I think one thing that's important to keep in mind is the character of your mate, right? If something is unfamiliar, you got to consider, man, are they having a bad morning? Are they having a bad day? It's not an excuse for, poor behavior or treating your spouse bad, but give each other grace. Every hill is not worth dying on.
So can you explain, what is that giving grace? Some people may not know what is grace.
Well, giving grace is understanding or always looking to see the best in your mate. Okay? Giving them the benefit of the doubt that their intentions are good.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if your spouse is constantly showing you the contrary, then that's a different conversation. But giving grace is seeing your partner with the best in mind. You know what? They probably didn't mean that. You know what? It probably wasn't that. Seeing your partner with the best in mind. And so that's what I would say, grace.
I think that's very, very good. Giving grace to one another. Let me see. Number 3 lesson that I would say is giving room for growth between each other. So you have to remember that when you first met each other, you were a different person when you met, and you have to remember that you're going to constantly evolve and constantly grow. So just give each other space to grow and that comfort to grow.
Yeah, and that's necessary, because obviously you're growing together. You're not who you are, you're constantly evolving. And so, giving each other space to grow together and supporting that and being a partner in that, I think is critically important. It's good, babe. The next one I would say was really, really been an important factor for us is don't go to sleep back, right? Don't go to sleep angry. Look, I know that can be a challenging because sometimes,
For me, it is.
sometimes you want to hold on. You don't want to hear I'm sorry. You want to be in your moment and you want to be mad. That's just the reality of it. But I think what's critically important is that you having a heart and a spirit of reconciliation quick in your relationship. Because we know going to bed mad turns into mornings mad, turns into days not speaking, turns into, the kids and the people in the household feeling that same energy, feeling that same frustration because they know something is not right. And so I think what's critically important is that you quickly resolve it. We have this funny thing that we do, even if we're angry or upset with one another. One thing that we always do when we're like, okay, I'm good now, we'll do this thing where I'll rub her wedding ring, she'll rub my wedding ring. I know it's cheesy, but it's just something that we've always done since day one, to say, you know what, I was upset, but I'm good now. I'm not gonna let that fester. I'm not gonna hold on to that. We've always done that to remember why you put this ring on, our vows, and just keeping that in the back of our minds. So I think not going to sleep mad is really important.
Yes, I think that is good. I think that's really good. I know sometimes he's better at it than me. He definitely won't go to sleep mad, but your girl is a little bit stubborn sometimes. But I try to remember okay, that's where that grace comes in. What was his true intentions when he came in? So yeah, don't go to sleep mad is very good.
Yeah. And then our last one, our fifth lesson, is I have to get this hair off my lip. That's weird. You married each other first. Now I'm talking about my people, my family with families.
Yeah,
right?
Blended families
or families. You married each other first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so let me delve into that. When I say you married each other first, kids are notorious for pitting parents against parents.
Yes.
Kids are also master negotiators.
Yes.
Okay, they know how to come to one parent first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that parent say no, sneak around and go ask another parent, hoping that the response is going to be different. All of that stuff come into play as you raising kids, especially in blended families. You'll have a kid that try to test with stepmom, and I gotta reel them back in and let them know, listen, bro, whatever she says, I've already confirmed it, even if I didn't confirm it. So don't waste your time asking me something that you've already asked her, and vice versa, because I'm not going to go against my wife. I'm not going to go against her with what she has to say, because I trust that she's making good, sound decisions and choices, and I trust and value her opinion. And so I think it's critically important that you understand that you marry each other first. Your kids can't be your husband. Your kids can't be your wife.
You're right.
Your wife is your wife, and your husband is your husband. And I think that's critically important. It divides households, because men will treat their daughters like their wives, and mothers will treat their sons like their husbands. And that's just, it's unhealthy at the very least. And you see marriages even fall apart because of that very thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. And I love the fact that from day one when we got married, you were like, no, we are a unit first.
Yeah.
We're a team first before the kids. So that just put in perspective that we are in this together, and then we make our decisions based off that. But that is definitely a lesson for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Ready for some blessings?
Some blessings. Nice. Fill it out serious. Let's talk about some blessings of being marriage. Because like I said earlier, we promote marriage. We love marriage. We think marriage is a beautiful thing in the confines of the way Christ designed it in his word. And so with that being said, I think the first blessing of being married for me and what I've seen is spiritual growth. Spiritual growth. Me personally, I feel like it's a huge blessing of being married, because when your spouse challenges you to be better, when she challenges, I'm talking about me now. When she challenges me to be better as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a result of my relationship with Christ, it challenges me to be better. It challenged me to grow in my spiritual walk. And I can tell, my kids are notorious hey Dad, we having Bible study tonight. So even if it's a night where it's like I may not be feeling it, or I may just want to chill or relax, my kids be like, Daddy, we having Bible study tonight. Like, they keep me accountable. My wife keep me accountable. You got your lesson ready for tonight? And I'm like, not really, but nah. But in all jokes, I think spiritual growth is one of the huge blessings in being married.
Can I piggyback off that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would just say spiritual growth as well, especially for me. Just being married to you, I see how Christ loves just from being married to you. And prime example, like, you are notorious for, if we have a disagreement, if we have an argument, that you'll come to me and like, no, let's forgive, let's talk about it, let's get it straight first. And you love me like Christ. So I would say I've learned to even grow spiritually just from recognizing like, wow, Jesus loves us that much as well. So I would definitely say spiritual growth for me as well.
Okay.
All right. So lesson number 2. Blessing. Sorry, blessing number 2.
The lessons.
We did the lessons. Sorry.
Lessons been
a blessing for me is just doing life together. As you guys know, I am single, I'm sorry.
Single?
I was sorry, babe. I was.
Do y'all
single.
know something that I don't know?
I was single for so long, but one of the blessings that I feel now is just doing life together, like being able to have fun with someone, like talk with somebody, like if I had a bad day, if I had a great day, just sitting watching the birds together, like well, he don't like to do that.
I'm about watching the birds, and she definitely don't like no large crowds of birds. So I don't know where she got that from.
I really don't. That like creeps me out, but I just love doing life with you. I love doing life, having somebody to do life with.
Yeah, I remember for our honeymoon, like, oh man, we had the greatest honeymoon ever. For y'all who don't know, we actually got married in our living room.
Yeah.
We got married in our living room.
So we could ball out on the honeymoon.
Shout out to Abu Creative. I mean, she built the whole arch and everything. It was amazing. And but we said, look, man, we're not having this big elaborate wedding. We're gonna take the time to enjoy each other. And so, we went to California, and man, we were big kids. I never forget, we went to Disney World for a day, we went to Universal Studios for a day, drove up and down the coastline. Like, we just did.
Went to the beach.
Like, we were big kids.
Went to all the monuments. Like,
all the monuments. Yeah, we had a great time, and I think it's a testament to like our marriage. I think what makes us so great, like, I can be on one end of the couch, she can be on one end of the couch, and we content in our space. We, she don't have to be, in my chest. I don't have to be, we are comfortable in our own space, but we don't neglect each other's time. And so we do life together, and it's always a good time. I don't care if we're riding down to San Antonio. I don't care if we're going to Houston. We always have a good time.
Yeah.
But
what is a blessing for you?
A blessing for me. Okay. I think intimacy. Yeah. we are intimate, but not just in a physical sense. When we connect spiritually, when we have this thing. So I'm not even gonna tell y'all no lie. Like, when we first got married, it used to irritate me. But I remember, like, I'm talking about like kiss, right? Like, my wife, she wants a kiss in the morning.
Yes.
When you walk out the door.
Yes.
When you come back in the door.
Yes.
If you go to the mailbox and come back in the house.
Oh, you're exaggerating.
No.
I want that because I never know the last time I'm going to see my husband. I'm not speaking ill will, of course, but I don't ever know the last time I'm going to see you. So I want to know, like, the last thing I remember is I got my kiss. Even when I'm upset, I like, your girl be like, give him a side kiss, but I want my kiss.
Right. But I understand it now, right? Like, because sometimes if we just be honest, we'll take each other for granted in marriage. We'll take our spouse for granted in marriage in the slightest ways. I'm not just saying, like, I'm talking about in the slightest ways. We'll take our spouse for granted. But the kiss is a reminder that, you know what? Every time you walk out that door and every time you come in the door, I want you to know that you matter to me. And I started to understand that. And You know, so now I make sure, like, nah, I gotta give her that kiss, because boy, when I tell you, like, I could be done, took out the trash and came back in, and she'd be like, well, you ain't give me my kiss. I was like, well, babe, I only went 50 feet. Like, nah, I'm joking. All jokes aside, but yeah. Intimacy in so many different ways. Intimacy in worship, like when we're with the kids and we have worship. There's been times, man, I'm not even gonna lie, where we'll throw on a Kirk Franklin and we all running around the house, just just having a good time, but intimately doing it together. So I think intimacy is a huge blessing in being married.
Yes, I definitely.
And don't want to neglect that. I mean, obviously.
Yes. Another blessing for me, I would say, is just the emotional support that I get from you. I'll just speak, for example, like I battled anxiety really, really bad. I'll tell you about that later. But I battled anxiety, and just the support that I got from you was just very encouraging to let me know that I'm not doing this alone, and that we're in this together, and that you encouraged me to even seek help about it. And like, you were just very supportive during that time, like that I was struggling with it really bad. I love that. Yeah,
no, I mean, and likewise, I think the emotional support is a huge piece. One thing I heard somebody say one time: don't quit on the same day. Right? Don't quit on the same day. And what that just simply means, when you feel like giving up, I shouldn't feel like giving up. Somebody got to be able to be that person to say, you know what, I got you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that person in your life, this channel is there for that emotional support. Yeah. That's why we do this. We want to be that outlet. We want to know as a support. Because at the end of the day, the worst thing in the world is feeling like I'm alone.
Yeah.
I don't have any emotional support. And this is for my single people too. Find somebody that can be an emotional outlet.
Whether it be a friend.
Yeah.
Anything,
yeah. And make sure it's somebody where you're spiritually trying to go, not where you at. Because then what you'll find yourself is having a pity party. But then you will also find yourself with a partner in crime. Yeah, you should have did that. Yeah, you should have been that way. Ah, bro, yeah, you can go do that. Let's go do that. Like, you don't want that, because that's not going to elevate you. That's going to keep you low.
Yeah.
And so having that emotional support, I know I have friends that I can call when I'm not feeling my best. I know I have friends that I can call when it's like, hey, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And so emotional support obviously is a huge blessing.
Yes.
So what's our last one, babe?
The last blessing that I would say is building a family together. Yeah. I love our blended family. Like, everybody in the family, and I even want more parts of the family, but we gotta pray on your boy.
Pray for your boy, because 4 kids. First of all, anything above 3 kids is a lot, and we got 4. It just says we want more.
Just so one more.
Pray for your brother.
But like, I really love building a family together. I love seeing our kids grow. I love seeing what they're interested in. I love to see each part that they have of each of us. Like, even Mariah, and I didn't birth Mariah, but just see how she gravitates and like, I want to cook with you. I want to cook with you, Miss Paulina. I love it. Like, I love doing life with our family and watching our family grow. Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing more beautiful. I always say, the 2 most beautiful things that, for me personally, that I've experienced in this life is the day I married my bride, and then when my children were born. There's nothing more beautiful, and I think when the beauty in building a family is watching the growth. Man, I can go back and look at pictures, from Josiah, and like, man, look how he's grown. Look how he's involved. I can look at Mariah from a little girl to now doing gymnastics and different activities. Ethan and Kobe, just watching little Kobe run around. I always say he's gonna be most like me. He is already running around at 1.5. I would say.
1.5, yeah. He's just 1.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's
too many months.
Somewhere in there. You see, when you have kids, the math, and I'm notorious for messing up their names. But I would say this: just seeing his little growth at 1 year old, running around with a football, I'm like, yep, there go daddy running back right there. But just seeing their growth, just seeing their as they evolve, you would say, that's the beautiful part of building a family. and getting to meet her family and the way they do things, and you know, of course, getting them. Trust me, y'all, it has been a journey. Okay, she is from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh my goodness.
I am from Louisiana. They don't eat seafood, and that's unheard of. Being from, I don't think I've ever met anybody like my wife that don't eat no seafood, y'all. Like I've never heard of this before. But it's been a journey just seeing the differences. They are a family of bakers and sweets.
Yes.
We are a family of cooks and roux and gravies and all the rest. But yeah, so with that being said, you know, thank you for coming along with us today and just hearing some lessons and blessings of being married. I mean, we've only been married 5 years. I mean, we're not saying that we're marriage experts by no stretch of imagination, but these are some things that have helped us out along the way. What's important to me is for you all that are out there, put in the comments, give us some of your lessons and some of your blessings. Obviously, iron sharpens iron, and we believe that we can grow from you guys just as much as you can grow from us. And we would love to hear.
I would love to hear.
Some of your comments. Drop in the comments. Give us a lesson. Give us a blessing of being married.
Or if you're single, what are you looking forward to? Hey, Faith Fam, why did our camera stop in the middle of recording? But I'm so glad you came along to hear our lessons and blessings for you. Tune into next week and we'll have more content for you.